Um, I, I have to confess that it has been a budget of relief, a very positive budget, and I like to look at it in two different ways. One is the macro, the big picture for the economy. The best thing about the budget has been that the path of fiscal consolidation has been stuck on by the finance minister. There were fears that this being the pre-election budget, there will be slippages, but she has not only reiterated that the country would stick to 6.4% in this fiscal, but going down to 5.9 next, and indeed down to 4.5 in fiscal 26. So that is the first big thing. That is so crucial because that determines the interest rates, that determines the available debt capacity for the private sector. So that's really full marks to the finance minister on that. So on the macro front, the second macro trend I'd like to highlight is the enhanced expenditure on capex rather than revenue. For that, I do not need to say how important that is. Full marks to the finance minister as well. That was my views on the macro. Now coming to micro on my industry, I mean clearly the fact that she repeatedly mentioned green growth as one of the 7 objectives of the government is important. The specific allocations to the battery energy storage system and the evacuation from Ladakh of clean energy are important, but in the big scheme of things, not that big. It is important more for the signaling that it carries. And finally, the additional 0.5% of the state's GDSP fiscal deficit being linked clearly to power sector reforms, although she spent only one sentence on it. But for my industry, that was probably one of the most important facets of this business. So overall, absolutely delighted, very much in line with the recommendations of the CII, and we'd like to thank the finance minister for this very progressive budget.